I quit my job that paid me $170 an hour. That's Australian dollars, by the way. And here's the story of why I quit and how I moved onto something much more valuable. So just as some context, out of high school, I went straight to university. And to make some extra cash on the side, I decided to work as a private tutor because my grades were pretty good and I had a deep understanding of the subjects that I've learned, so I just tutored those subjects. And initially, I only charged $30. So not that much. And my friends were all telling me you could charge way more. And like, I had a friend who was charging at most $300 an hour. I didn't get that high, but I did get to 170. And that was after obviously a few years of tutoring. Now, I did tutoring at that price for about a year, and I thought I would be happy because I was making much more money than I would typically do at a normal job. And so I thought, great, this is a great use of my time. I can finally just relax and live my dream life, right? But as I went about the year, I realized that the job wasn't exactly as glamorous as it may sound. Because you might be thinking, okay, $170, maybe you're not grateful for that. I was definitely grateful, and I definitely appreciated the experience. I definitely enjoyed all the students I worked with. So I mean, if you're watching this and I tutored you, it's not you, okay? It's not you, it's me. But the real reason is when I did tutoring, I just didn't feel like there was any sense of progression. I was basically tutoring things that I already had an understanding about, and my life wasn't centered around those topics. For example, I would be teaching maths, and it's not like I would actually be using maths in my day-to-day life. In fact, I would be doing something completely different. And so the things I would be tutoring about are very irrelevant to the things that I was actually trying to grow in real life. And so I felt like I was very stagnant, and I didn't develop my skills with this job. Even if it paid a lot, it was at the cost of not building any skills, and it was at the cost of stagnancy. Now, what I've done instead in this year is I've quit my tutoring job, so I don't tutor anymore. I don't charge 170. Instead, I work at the startup, and I'm getting paid minimum wage, which in Australia is around $24 an hour. And this has been by far a much more valuable experience. So even though the pay is $24, the amount of experience I'm getting from this job is unparalleled. And just as some context, right now I'm working as a YouTube strategist at this edtech startup and currently learning a lot, not just about YouTube, but also like sales, leadership, management, all those things. And most importantly, I'm getting access to a very valuable network of people, which is worth way more than what money could quantify. And so for me, I've realized that this is the path I wanted to go down. The path of learning, not earning. Sure, eventually we'll get to the earning stage. But right now, of course, I'm very grateful for my parents, the fact that, I don't have to worry too much about a shelter or food. And I can just focus on just basic living expenses, of course. And obviously I'd try and pay for everything that I do. But overall, it just allows me to focus much more on learning as fast as possible. So that's kind of my story of why I quit my job as a tutor, even though it paid well, to go for a job that pays much less, but offers much more learning. And I know this is a slightly controversial topic because I know money is a very sensitive thing. I'm not saying this is the case for everyone that you should do this, because I know everyone's in different situations, and there may be cases where you do need the extra money. And obviously I was in that position as well. But if you do get to a stage where money is not the biggest priority in your life, and when I say biggest priority, I mean obviously it's always going to be important because of practical reasons, but potentially there may be other priorities that come on top of it. If that's ever the case for you, then it's very important to prioritize learning instead of earning, because it gives you that long-term potential of earning more down the line, if that's the path you want to go down. But it just opens up much more pathways if you spend the time to learn to get as many experiences as possible. So that's why I'm focused on learning, not earning.